Okay, so back for video 3, we were looking at creating a tangent arc. So if we come up to sketch here on our ribbon, we don't want to draw a full circle, we only want part of a circle, and we only want an arc based on 2 points, so we want a tangent arc. Again, you can go into your options here. You could draw from the center point if you had a center point and want to draw a circle. A 3-point arc, if you need 3 points, we only know 2 points, so we want a tangent arc. So select it, select the bottom, and drag it up to the top, and there we go. There is our semicircle. And again, we're fully defined, and we can see we have the right shape. And again, we want to extrude boss this, so we want to give it some depth. I think it's a depth of 10, but we can always just go back and check. Nope, I would have been wrong. We can see this is actually a depth of 20 that we want to extrude this from. So when we go back into our shape, again, sometimes it's easier to leave the feature to finish it. So click that X, come back, double tap, and go to your isometric view, just to give you a better understanding of what you're doing. So again, select extrude boss base. Now we can see it's coming out in the right direction, but it's only coming out to 10, so we want to update that to be 20. I'll just use this time to show you a little feature in Solidworks. If we accidentally said 40, tick our box. Okay, so now we see that's too big. Solidworks is great, as with any CAD program, in the fact you can make modifications to a part very easily. So if you imagine this was a traditional drawing, and we accidentally drew that to be length 40, we'd have to go back and redraw the entire thing. Whereas with a CAD program, we can edit it. So if we actually select our last feature there, this is called the feature tree, by the way, and we'll be going through that in more detail over the next few weeks. But if you right click that boss extrude tree and go up here to a little pencil with the blue box behind it, edit feature, we can go back in, so we can see, okay, this is our edit feature. Here's where we put 40. We actually only want it to be 20, so we can select 20, click our green tick, and we can see we can actually adjust that to go back and correct it. So that's one very useful thing about SolidWorks. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes is part of learning with SolidWorks, and usually things are very easily corrected, like that. So hopefully now we're very well on track. I think we've only got 2 little bits left to do. We've got that circle, and we've got that little wedge. I think the circle might be easiest for the moment. When we go down here, we can see the drawing. So see those dotted lines? That tells us that that's actually hollow the whole way around, and there's dotted lines there, which means there's a hole there on that other plane. So again, this hole is cut through all, so essentially just means it goes through all of the part. So we'll go back and we'll do that circle. Before we do it, we need a little bit more information on what we're going to draw. So we look and try and figure out where the center of that circle is. Okay, you can see it's on the center line of this arc, or the center line of this part here, and it's where that 20mm square ends. Okay, so what's good about SolidWorks is it'll give us a lot of help in drawing something like this, and we'll see why now. If you select that part, go normal to it, select sketch. This time you want to use a full circle, so select this circle. Okay. If you hover over where you're going to draw a line, SolidWorks will give you a sort of guide. So we know we want our part to be somewhere along this line for our semicircle. We also want it to be in that line there. So SolidWorks will actually give us the point once we've played about with it a little bit, dragged over the lines where it's going to be. So we're happy enough that it's here on that point that we want to draw our circle. Okay, what radius is our circle? Well, it's 2 squares across. So we know the total diameter of the square is 20. So back in the SolidWorks we go. Smart dimension. Again, we can see that's locked to that point. If we select the whole circumference of the circle and drag it up, we can see it's currently 18.9. We want it to be 20. So select 20, and again we can see we're fully defined because SolidWorks knows where that point is in relation to being on that center line and vertical of this line. Select your green tick. Features extrude cut, and again through all. double tap your spacebar, go to isometric view, and hopefully we're on track with that. And our final part is this little wedge down here. A little bit tricky, and this is where planes come into it a little bit. Again, don't spook yourself with planes. This class is only to get used to SolidWorks. Really, you just want to learn how to use extrude boss, extrude cut, smart dimension more than anything else. But we'll do a little bit of planes and we'll come into it. So we can see that little shape here. And what information do we know about it? So from looking at this drawing of it, we can see, okay, that's actually just a rectangle. And again, it's just got a slant on it. What information do we know about that slant? So we know the slant starts 20 up or 4 over. So it's got a line of 40 here. And on the other side, we've got a line of 20. Because that slant only starts here. See the length of this shape here? It comes across that 20. Then it goes down to its 40. So a little tricky in the sense this is drawn behind the part, or we could draw it also to the front of the part if we wanted to. So we'll go into SolidWorks and we'll play about with it and see which way we draw it. For me, I would click my spacebar, go to the rear of the part, okay, select sketch, select line, and I would draw it like this. So I'd select the part to say I want to draw on the part. I know from there to there. I know it's going to come down randomly. And it's going to give me a shape that looks a bit like this. So again, we said, from looking at it, we think that should be 40. I think. We'll go back and double check. Okay, so it should have been 10, 10, 30. Again, one of the great things about SolidWorks is it's very easy to make a mistake. And it's very easy to fix mistakes. So if we double tap on our smart dimension again, we can change that back to 30. We could always go back and edit it again, similar to that feature edit we done. We know that's 20. It doesn't need to be added. It'll make it driven. We know that's 10. And again, SolidWorks knows that for us. So now we can leave our shape. And we go into our features again. Extrude boss base. What size wedge is this? Well, it's only 1 square, so it's going to be 10. I'll click this. Click our green tick. Double tap my spacebar. Look at the isometric view. Okay. So we've got the right shape, but again, it's too big. And again, I just want to show you that SolidWorks will very easily let you edit a part. So right click on the feature that we made the mistake on. Go to edit feature. And we see we had that in a 40. We can change it 20. Again, 20 is wrong. We only want it to be 10. 10. And that yellow grid will also indicate what the part will look like before we finish off. So we click OK there, and hopefully that's us done. Hopefully that's easy enough to follow. My duck accent, bad humour, and bad use of technology hasn't driven you too mad or bored you too much. I'm hopeful that you'll be able to follow along with videos like this for the rest of the classes, and it will make things a little bit easier to get up to speed if we miss out in class due to social distancing and being at home and everything else. So that's that part 1 done. We can move on to part 2, or we can look at a few other parts and a few more features of SolidWorks. Again, any questions, drop me an email or come to me in class. Thanks a mil, guys. We'll leave it there for the moment.